Peter, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. Can you imagine realizing or having the Lord Jesus Christ tell you that Satan desires to have you and he wants to sift you like wheat? What would that make you feel like? This is Jesus talking to Peter.
Grateful that Jesus wants us. You asked what it would make us feel like. Grateful that Jesus wants us.
Make you step back a minute, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
This is before Jesus was crucified there. Verse 32, but I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. In other words, when you go through this sifting, okay, strengthen your brothers. The word converted might be a little confusing. It doesn't mean that he was changed. It means that after you've gone through this sifting process and Satan has a hold of you and sifts you like wheat, then you strengthen your brothers. Okay? Listen to what Peter responds. And he said unto him, Lord, I'm ready to go with thee, both into prison and to death. And he said, Jesus talking, I tell thee, Peter, the cock shall not crow this day before thou hast 3 times denied that you know me. So you understand the time frame that this is going on, don't you? But where it starts out, it says, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. Okay? But I prayed for you, Jesus said. And when you've gone through this process, strengthen your brothers and your sisters. Strengthen your brethren. It says. And then Peter stands up and he talks, and he says, look, Lord, I'm willing to go both into prison and to death with you. Okay? Jesus said, look, the rooster's not going to crow in the morning before you've denied me 3 times. So the time frame is a very, very strong time in the life of the Lord and the disciples. But that message, Satan has desired to have you. Satan desires to have you, and you, and you. I mean, if Satan could grab hold of a Christian and kill you, he'd want to do that, wouldn't he? Okay? But Jesus didn't say it. Listen, I prayed for you, Peter, and Satan's not going to have any part of you. That's not what he said. He said, I prayed for you. Okay? I prayed for you that your faith wouldn't fail. But when you are converted, the King James says, but when you've been converted, or when you've gone through the process of being sifted like wheat, strengthen your brothers. Going through a problem, you need to come out the other side better. Not defeated, not destroyed, but better. There's been times that Valerie and I have been sifted. Okay? Losing a baby, having to perform a funeral, preach that funeral, and tend to all those people. That was kind of a sifting for us. Okay? Seeing some of our children go through some things. That's been some sifting. Okay? Some health issues and so forth. That's some sifting. Where the devil touches you. Job did that. That kind of stuff happened to Job in the Old Testament. The devil did it to him. Okay? And here in the New Testament, Jesus is talking to Peter and sitting there and saying, Simon, Satan desires to have you. Okay? That he could sift you like wheat. What is the process of sifting wheat? You remember they used to have these large, round, almost like basket troughs where they'd scoop up that stuff and they'd shake it around. They'd throw it on a windy day and all the chaff would run over here. All the husks would run there and the grain would fall back down into that container. It would retain the good stuff, and all the things that was impure, the things you wouldn't want in your bread, okay, would blow off, wouldn't it? That's what sifting like wheat sifting you, okay? It's amazing how God will allow Satan to separate things in you. In Peter's case, if you read verse 33, he says, Lord, I'm ready to go to prison and to death for you. He was confident in himself. So the chaff, okay, in Peter's life was maybe his self-confidence. That the Lord was going to allow the devil to come in and sift him to separate that self-confidence from the person that he was to become, Peter. Okay? So when you go through trouble, when you get sifted, when the devil's after you, you may realize, number one, the devil's not going to do anything to you unless the Lord allows it. You believe that? So if God's allowing you to go through this, evidently He's trying to separate the wheat from the other stuff. Okay, He's trying to maintain. Maybe the Lord's using that process. Now, only God could use something the devil tried to destroy you with, okay, for your benefit. And that's an amazing thing in itself. Being sifted is not fun. Okay, when Peter went through it that night, that sifting, it didn't please Peter. Okay, I'm sure he was depressed and despondent and so forth. But when he came through it, look what he did. The way he preached, the very shadow, whenever his shadow cast over somebody, they'd get healed. Okay, and things like that, miraculous things happened in his life. Okay, the way he led the other disciples into things and teaching and planting churches and building things, the way he did, it was amazing. He couldn't have done that unless God had separated the wheat from the chaff and allowed him to be sifted. Okay, the things that I've gone through, the hardest times in my life, I'm on this side of some of those things now, and hopefully the Lord don't let me get touched like that again. But looking back, it allowed me to have sympathy for people that maybe I wouldn't have had, to sit down and reach out to people that's lost children that I wouldn't know how to relate. And I have some words that I can share with them, prayers and so forth that I can get down and pray with them and minister to them. That had I not gone through that, I wouldn't have been able to. I'd been voiceless. Okay, was it easy? No. It was a separation of things that I went through. You look in your life and you see where you've been sifted like wheat sometimes, and you know, see what God was trying to do during those times. Okay? I want to share that with you out of Luke, okay?